Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCT Center, and with me today is Morganne Rayne, Adept, visionary, spiritual guide, ceremonialist, and artist. Morgan has been called the healer of healers as a way to describe unique spiritual tools she shares. Morgan is here to serve those who seek great understanding of their sacred spiritual self and have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness into a 3D world. So, hello, Morgan.
Hi, good morning, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, and we joined by Jeannie
Yeah,
Rayne.
wonderful. Good morning, Jeannie.
Good morning.
Hello, Jeannie.
Hello.
We are joined by Jeannie Rayne, a licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients improve themselves. Jeannie sees herself as lifetime student of growth. She is continually taking classes to enhance her knowledge base. At present, Jeannie is studying internal family systems. So, hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year, my two lovely ladies.
Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
Year.
This is the very first show in this year.
Yeah, it's an interesting start to our new year. I got a lot to say about the start. um,
Great.
of course, I'll just go back. You know what I do spiritual practice. So uh, New Year's Eve, a group of us went to a beautiful place called St. Mark's Cathedral to just be immersed in the frequency of a magnificent cathedral that the acoustics in it just literally permeate every cell of your being. It's quite it's quite remarkable how those old structures have the capacity to do that. And we walked a beautiful labyrinth that was there, symbolically releasing and letting go of the old, and walking it again to embrace the new. So we do the spiritual practices, so those were good. And then I wake up on yesterday morning to phone calls for my sister, and I woke up late because I got home late, and there had been a bombing in New Orleans. That's where we're from, and that's where my sister is. And as the day unfolded, it was a terrorist bombing, and my nephew is with the sheriff's department in New Orleans. So, we're really, there's going to be all that heightened energy about this event that's taken place. And then, of course, in our country, we had on the same day two other attacks. So it got me to really thinking about how the world really tries to put your focus on things to stir up fear and stir up confusion, and take your attention off of uh, of what's meaningful and good. So I had opportunity yesterday to really put my attention on, okay, so this is the focus that the world is trying to move us into, right? This fear, be afraid, be in terror. And as you think about the first day of the year and everybody's saying happy new year, well, for a lot of people it wasn't so happy. For some people it was very scary. A lot of people lost their lives in New Orleans yesterday morning from that event. uh, it's it puts it into perspective. I was thinking about this. Well, okay, these things happen. It's kind of like the rock in the shoe. So if you're walking along and everything's good, and all of a sudden you got a rock in your shoe, do you just keep walking with the rock in your shoe, or do you stop and take the rock out, adjust the shoe, whatever you need to do, and then resume your walk? Well, being in constant terror is like walking in with the rock in your shoe all the time without stopping and going, wait a minute. Do I have to just keep holding this terror? Can I take the shoes off? Can I take the rock out? Can I choose to walk this path without this rock in the shoe, without this terror in my life? And the answer to that is yes, because terror, like anything else, is something that we can choose. And so yesterday was a place of deep introspection for me in terms of what we choose as humanity. And so do we let others choose for us, or do we choose for self? And knowing things are going to happen. We're going to get rocks in our shoes. It happens, right? It just happens. But it's, oh, I got a rock in my shoe. Oh, there's been a terror thing. Okay. All right. Got it. But I'm going to put my attention on something else, because if we put our attention on the terror, if we put our attention on we're being attacked, if we put our attention on it's all going to hell in a handbasket, if we put our attention on that, I'm going to just say, well, and so it is, right? And that's the way it is, because that's where all our attention is. But if we have the courage enough to stop and take the damn rock out of the shoe and go, no, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the goodness of humanity, because I tell you what, it's this very small portion of humanity that's causing the rock in the shoe scenario, right? And it's like, if we choose to say no to the rock in the shoe, if we say no to the terrorism, yeah, we acknowledge it happened, and it's crappy that it happened. But there you go. Humanity has some crappy things going on in their heads and their agendas and whatever else they want to do. But it's up to us. It is totally up to us to begin to really take charge of what we think about, where we put our attention, and what we choose to hold and what we choose to walk in our shoes with, right? We can choose to walk in peace and love and goodness and kindness and mercy, or we can choose to walk with the stupid rock in our shoe, with anger and angst and pain and suffering. So anyway, I got off on my high horse already this morning, so I'll let everybody else start commenting or add your 2 cents. But that's kind of where I've been for the last day in my perspective and in my own choice making, because I know who we are. I know what we are, that we are high conscious vibrational beings, right? We are these, and if we vibrate at that fear, terror, oh my God, and you get a whole bunch of people vibrating and doing that at that level, that is not something you want to be throwing in the pool of the infinite consciousness. Really. It's like, come back, and go acknowledge it as something. It's a little rock. Take it out. Move your attention to love. Move your attention to peace. Move your attention, because it's going to take us doing that in order to shift for ourselves, but also to shift also for you. Remember, we do this not just for ourselves, we do it for everyone, to shift for humanity. And we have the courage to do that. We give everyone else permission to have courage to do it too. Okay, I'm done talking for a few minutes.
Jamie, what do you have to say about it?
I agree with Morganne 100%. what happened in New Orleans is terrible, and we can say prayers for it and lift it up, and I think that it's really important that we don't go down that rabbit hole, um, because the truth of the matter, there's always something happening that's not really good in the world, and if we focus on that, that's what we get back, and we got to it's like ADD. Well, like it's like a squirrel, and we're there, and we don't have control of what we're doing, and it's about taking our control back, and saying prayers for those people and everybody that was involved in it, and then looking towards the light, and being in that vibration of light and love, and because that is the best thing we can do, um, instead of just being negative, and having this perpetual negativity, and saying the world's going to um, a really bad place. I just think it's about being awake and aware of how we are behaving, and how we're thinking, and it's now more important than ever to really take control of our thoughts and where we want, and not have people lead us and outside events lead us, but us leading ourselves into the world that we want. We pray for everybody, we take care of everybody in the sense of praying with intention for them, and then we lead the way we want the world to be.
We lead the way we want the world to be. I love that. We lead the way we want the world to be. And that's us being awake and aware and conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not going back to sleep to all this negativity,
Yeah.
because it does not, it does more harm than good to live there.
Well, we know what it creates.
Yeah.
We know what it creates. And I guess we have to determine what do we want to create? I'll go back to, I remember, back in the old days when I used to teach spiritual practices. First night I would write on the whiteboard the formula: a thought plus a feeling equals a result. So simple. A thought
Mm-hmm.
plus a feeling equals a result. And what I'd have them do is like, okay, but let's look at the results. Let's go to the results part of this, right? So if we're focusing on the results, well, let's go and reverse engineer, right? So we got a result in our life, and let's say we don't like that result. It's not exactly what we're wanting. We got to go back and take responsibility for that result. And the responsibility is, well, what the heck am I thinking? And what am I feeling? Right? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. The problem is people don't want to take responsibility for their results. They want to blame others for their results. Oh, that happened because. No, it happened because of your thinking and your feeling, right? Because we can all go, oh, it was a terrible day yesterday because of all these terrorist attacks. No, it was a fabulous day. It was a beautiful day. Terrorist attacks happened. Yeah, they did, but it's not going to steal my energy. It's not going to steal my consciousness. It's not going to steal that.
Yeah.
I think with our own thoughts, we have to sort of lift it up the vibration and energy what those people who are actually involved in this incident, what they are going down to, because obviously if you are involved in this place, if somebody gets killed from your family, obviously you're slipping into this darkness. Yeah, but if we around manage to pray for them, manage to send positive energy to them, manage to keep them in our thoughts and bring this vibration up, we manage to sort of neutralize their negativeness at this moment and sort of even it up this energy in general.
Yeah.
So that's very important to remember this
Yeah.
and really not get into it.
So, I think it'd be wise to talk about ways to bring our attention back into a focus that is better for us, better for humanity, that evolves us, that evolves humanity, right? Because when we put our focus on the other in those lower aspects, we're not evolving humanity. We're in we're de-evolving. We're becoming the worst of humanity. We want to become the best of humanity, the life of humanity, the wholeness of humanity. So how do we do that? Right? How do we do that? And the first thing that came to me this morning was, well, the practice of gratitude. Let's just start there. If we just like, well, what's one thing we can be grateful for? What's one thing yesterday we could be grateful for? Right? Or what's one thing today I can be grateful for? What's 5 things I can be grateful for? Like, just begin to put your energy on some gratitude, and watch how when you start shifting from the dire and the morose to, oh, what's something I could be grateful about, your energy shifts. It just naturally shifts. So if we can have a simple practice every day of just being grateful, just be grateful for one thing. Don't make it a big deal. Don't even make it a long timeline thing. Make it 10 seconds. Everybody can give 10 seconds to gratitude. What are you grateful for? I'm so great. I'm really grateful. See that painting back there, right there? My daughter gave me that. One of my daughters my oldest daughter gave me that for Christmas. I am so grateful for that. It's called The Radiance of My People, and it's by an indigenous artist. And I'm so grateful for it because I can look at that and it's like, I'm grateful for the consciousness behind that, the simplicity of it, the colors of it, the meaning behind it, the peace in it. I'm so grateful for that. So it's like I can put my attention on that beauty. Now, I could also put my attention on what happened to my people, the bad shit that happened to my people. I could go there because it happened, right? But I'm not going to choose to do that. I'm going to put it on the beauty and the culture and the goodness. So how can we do it? So gratitude's one way that we can bring ourselves from that low density consciousness into a higher, better feeling. And it's good to have a better feeling. In fact, we want to have a better feeling consciousness. So what else can we do? Anybody else have ideas?
Be in the moment.
Being in the moment.
Find what is good in this particular moment in your life.
Pray.
Pray.
Walk in nature. And as you're walking in nature, be in gratitude of all the beauty that nature offers, and that it's there, it's alive.
Yeah.
Do the gratitude walk. Intentionally go in nature and just find things to be grateful about. That's a very good practice.
Yeah, be grateful for right now. We have, I don't know what it's like over at Jeannie's house, but we have misty, gray, rainy. I don't same for you over there.
Yes.
But you know what? I'll go out into that and I'll just feel that misty stuff on my face, and it feels so good. It feels so alive, and I'll breathe it into my lungs, and it feels so moist and beautiful in my body. but I see other people. In fact, I saw a lady down the road and I said, and I hadn't seen her for like, I don't know, a year or so. And she was like she was pulling a hat. She goes, "This damn rain." Like, so she's cursing the rain. And I'm like breathing it in. So two different ways, right? You can curse it or you can be grateful for it. Two different ways of being. I prefer my way.
That's a
It
great analogy.
Yeah. So what we're talking about too is bring me back to Course in Miracles, because I'm starting Course in Miracles again here in January 26th. Did you get that notice, Dega?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay, good. Um, and that will take us 13 weeks to Easter as we study the core principles of it. But I have chosen again to begin the daily practice, which I don't always do that. I've done it several times and then I don't do it. And I just decided this year to pick it up and do it daily again. And so I'm going to share the first two lessons because yesterday's lesson was so pivotal in helping me get back to what's true by confronting um, what you make meaning of, right? So the first lesson, and everybody can practice this first lesson, and we don't take these lessons to be done any more than a moment. You don't practice it all day long. You can practice it in the morning and at night, but just a moment. You don't put your focus totally on it, but it's good to have an awareness about how our minds think. So the first lesson is nothing I see in this room or on this street or from this window or in this place means anything. So if you're in a room, we can say, nothing I see in this room means anything. So you take that statement and you kind of look around your room, wherever you are, and you let your eyes land on something. So my eyes have landed on a pillow over there. And I would say, that pillow does not mean anything. And then I'll shift and I'll look over there and go, oh, that plant does not mean anything. And you just kind of shift around, and I invite everyone to just kind of look around and look at something, and and then you look further away and look, and like maybe you see the trees out there and go, that tree doesn't mean anything. So when you do a practice like that, what you start to realize is that our minds make up a meaning about something. We've made a meaning about something. We've named something, or we've ascribed a meaning to it, and sometimes our meanings collide with people, and sometimes they agree with people. It's that we make meaning of things is the point of the exercise. So today's exercise is, I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning it has for me. And so again, you just kind of look around. I look at the plant and I go, I gave meaning to that plant. All the meaning that plant has, I did that. And you just kind of look around and you begin to get that idea now in your mind that you gave the meaning to everything in this room. So that's the first two lessons of Course in Miracles, day 1 and 2. And so appropriate for these times, because when we look at we are meaning making machines. Humans, we are meaning making machines. And when we can stop making meaning, then we can be present to the moment. We can be present to what it is, not to the meaning we made of it. Because when we make meaning of something, then have you ever made meaning about something and you found out you were wrong? You're just flat out wrong, but your mind made meaning, and then you made up a whole story around it, and you have a whole physical reaction to it, and maybe it affected a relationship in a certain way because we made up something about it and it wasn't even true. It's like, how many of those things? I remember one time that I realized I was wrong about something, and I said it out loud. I said, "Oh my God, I wonder how many other things I'm wrong about." I think that's a good question to ask. How many other things am I wrong about? It's kind of freeing in a way, because in having the courage to say that, then my mind can go around going, it's like, well, what meaning did I make about that? Like, there are things in my house I've made meaning about. There are things in my life that I've made meaning about. Is it true? So yesterday and today's Course in Miracles lessons are very simple, but they're very deep. And it's a good way to begin to start taking the rocks out of your shoes.
Absolutely.
I actually go on, Jenny.
As I was thinking when you, we made meaning of the New Orleans incident, and the truth of the matter is we have no idea. We're not in the man's head that did that. Yep, we were still going to continue to make meaning from it. And it's just amazing. Our minds constantly go to meaning making, why something's the way it is.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So good, really good lesson.
I actually find I'm making meaning for myself. Oh, this is from this and this person. It sort of attaches me to this and this person. This I brought for this and this and this, and I make meanings of things, yeah, and then I find extremely difficult to declutter my home, because every single thing what is in my home is sort of meaningful. Yeah, what I can drop it, what I can throw it out. Yeah, if this means something, it's really nothing. Like, let's say, for example, um, one of my nieces sent me Christmas present, like a little home handmade hat, yeah, from woolen knitting, like handmade hat. This hat is already dusty and staying on a shelf and waiting for a moment when it could get out of my house. Yeah, but I can't reattach myself because it's something that actually is meaningful. She gave me this present she made with her hands, yeah, so it was meaningful for her, and so it is meaningful for me to see done this, yeah. How you can throw it out something, yeah. And this niece is already grown now, she's young lady, and so on. But I still keep this, yeah.
Isn't it something, the things we hang on to, things, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, ideas, that they don't serve us. We just hang on to them because
Mhm.
we think they're important. We think that we should, and I'll use that word, should hang on to it. We need to hang on to it. I mean, as you were talking, I was thinking about my granddaughter Amaya. That kid hangs on to, she loves receipts. We don't know what that's about, but if there's a receipt to be had, she wants it. It's, you can't throw away the receipt, and her mom finds these receipts everywhere, like shoved in weird places. Like she confiscates receipts, and we don't know why, but she thinks they're important and you can't get rid of the receipt. Who knows where she got this idea? And so when you were talking about the hat, I'm like going, oh my God, I wonder how many more receipts are hiding out there in this kid's life, right? But she panics if you talk about throwing away the receipt. But I look at that in people's life. If you have a conversation with them about giving up an old belief, they panic. It's like it's almost their precious, right? It's their story. It's their, it's what they've been saying for so long. And is it true? Is is it worth hanging on to? Probably not. Probably
Right.
not.
Okay,
We're
just
making
okay.
we're,
Can we go on?
we're making meaning of this stuff. And, I have something like that. My daughter gave me a little Christmas tree that I could plug into my computer. So I had little Christmas around my computer. Like she gave it to me years ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, my computer doesn't have the same outlet that it originally had to work it. And I still am like, oh, but it's such a great thought. Like she wanted to bring joy to my Christmas, while I was working. And, and I mean, as we're talking, I'm like, I got to get rid of that thing because I just packed it away again for, taking down the Christmas stuff. And I was like, I got to get rid of it.
Okay, but what about Christmas cards? So I don't know how it is in America, but in England, everybody gives to everyone Christmas cards. I used to have literally hundreds of Christmas cards because I was working in big factory and lots of people I knew there and everybody giving Christmas cards. I was buying hundreds of Christmas cards to give out to people, yeah. And so I get back hundreds of Christmas cards. And then it's difficult to figure out which of them you're throwing out and which of them you're keeping. Because some of them is so beautiful and so meaningful and these people I like and so on. It's sort of memory from them, yeah. And where it ends. Where it ends because you have hundreds like your granddaughter is collecting receipts, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Like
about.
that,
I'm going to tell you about my mom. So my mom, she collected stuff. Cards, Christmas cards is one of the stuff she collected. She saved dresses she made for me when I was a little kid. I am not kidding you. She had all these old dresses, and they were all shoved in boxes. And she had this one room in her house. We called my sister and I. We called it the ugly room because it started getting stacked and stacked and stacked. And we would encourage mom to please go through some of this stuff. Like, Mom, I'm never going to wear those dresses again. I'm a grown woman, just like she goes, but you never know. We might need it. It comes out of that.
Mm.
Uh, depression era, right, of savings. You might need it, right? So no, mom, I'm never going to need that dress. I promise you, but we might need the fabric, So there's always this
Excuse me.
impending, we got to save it because we might need it. And it was the same thing for her with leftover food, little scraps. So we'd put it in the refrigerator, and 3 weeks later we'd find it a science experiment. It's like this mentality of saving and hoarding. And the joke in between my sister and I was that one day we were going to have to clean that room. One day we were going to have to go through that room, and it's like we didn't. And so this is one of those blessings in disguise. Okay, we can talk about blessings. So this is the blessing in disguise. Hurricane Katrina came along. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. She lost but I tell you what, that ugly room was gone.
Wow.
And that's the one thing I celebrate. I go, thank God we don't have to clean the ugly room.
You sort of manifested to not to clean the ugly room.
But that's what people do. They, why do they, people do that because they live in a scarce mentality, right? They're afraid to let go. Those meaningful things. Well, the meaningful things are still there. The card isn't a meaningful thing. The feeling you have is what's meaningful, right?
Yeah, but you're picking up this card and you straight away have this feeling.
Okay, well, let me do this little exercise with you, Daga. Just imagine right now you found your box of cards, and there's the most meaningful one in there. And you're just imagining this, and you're picking it up and you're looking at it, and you're experiencing what meaning it brings to you. Can you feel that?
You're talking about memorizing in your mind, not leave Christmas cards for yourself. Yeah.
No, the feeling. It's the feeling that's the good feeling around it, right? Right. Was it the card that brought the feeling, or is it the feeling that lives in you?
That feeling what lives in me, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. And the card just simply triggers that. That feeling is in you already. Right. And so even if you lost, so if Katrina came along and swept all those cards away, could you get back to that feeling?
Yes, but I must definitely be devastated for losing all this.
Yeah. But the thing about stuff, this is the thing about stuff, it will always come back into your life. Right. And that's because we are magnets. We attract what's in our consciousness. And that's why we're talking about what we're talking about here today. So if we are focused on the world and all the fear that is being perpetrated out there, then what are we going to get in our lives?
Fear.
More
Yeah.
fear.
More fear. Something else to be afraid of. Something else to scare us. So it works like that. Go ahead, Jeannie.
I was going to say, Dago, what I do is I go through it in layers. Like once a week, I'll go through some cards and I'll make sure I get rid of some. And now I only have like the most like important to me, but still I'm thinking, why do I need it? And I don't need it. And so it's like, but I can't do it all at once. It's not in me. Like I just can't, because it would be too much. So I just do it in layers, and that's good enough for me.
My I had a beautiful gift given to me. This was a beautiful Christmas, but my neighbor upstairs, she called me one day, and we have We have a lovely relationship and we have a contentious relationship. We are so opposite. It's beautiful and it's good and it's like, oh, it's a lot of times on the edge. So one day she called me and she goes, I need you to come up here right now. It's like, okay, I'm coming up. So I went up. She goes, I need you to sit down right now. I go, okay. So I sat down and she goes, I've had a conversation with Karen and David. Those are her children. She goes, and we've made a decision. Like, oh my God, do I need to pack and move? It's like, that's where my mind, see where the mind goes. I was starting to make up meaning about what she's like talking in an anxious voice already. My mind's already going to, oh my God, they've made a decision. I'm not going to, it's like, where does the mind go? Right. I just made that shit up. That wasn't even true. This is what she had to tell me. What she had to tell me was, she goes, she had in her possession from her father's collection a vase that he collected, an old vase he collected when he was traveling in Arizona and New Mexico, that came from a Puebloan tribe called the Acoma tribe, of which I have cousins that live there. And she goes, my heart wants to give this to you. She said, but this is part of the inheritance of my family because it's old. And she said, I had to call my children to ask permission to give it to you because what we know is this would bring meaning to your life. Right? What a big, that was like a very thought-filled gesture of love that she knew that me experienced this would bring meaning. Well, what meaning does that bring in my life? So I have to be careful with that, right? I have to be very careful with what meaning I want to ascribe to that vase, right? So I'm not allowing any meaning to be ascribed to it other than it was a beautiful, thought-filled gesture of this woman that recognizes and sees me for who I am. And I'm just going to leave it there, right? Because if I start, oh, wow, this is some kind of sign, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just going to go, it's just simply this, right? And to receive it in that kind of way is clean, it's healthy, it doesn't have any attachments to it. She gave it without attachment. She gave it with you. It really belongs to you because it's like it was just like such a beautiful way of giving a gift. And it was a beautiful way of receiving a gift without attachments, but just with love.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it? I have no idea.
It's time to start our meditation. We have like 2 minutes to meditation.
2 minutes until meditation?
Yes.
I'm looking because I wrote down some notes here today. Of course, I have a lot to think about. So I think I'm ready to do meditation. I think it's time.
Great. I think we're done for first show this year. We've done quite a lot to think about for people and to actually start practicing. So let's get ready for meditation.
Okay. I'm going to invite everyone to put your feet on the floor. Let's just start with the basics. Get your spine straight. Get your feet on the floor. Get yourself comfortable. And let's begin by taking a breath together. And just check in. Where are you? Maybe even physically, where are you? Just focus on, oh, I'm here. I'm sitting in a chair. I feel comfortable. Just get aware about your body, where you are, how you are. Bring awareness. This is called bringing awareness to yourself. And now let's take an aware breath in. And an aware breath out. It's very different than just taking a breath in and a breath out. Being aware of your breath. Now we're going to take it up a little higher. We're going to bring a conscious breath in. And by conscious, I want you to be aware that of what you're breathing in, the air that is all around you. What is in that air? Oxygen, whatever is in the air, all the elements that are in the air. Realize that you're going to bring that into your body temple, and it's going to integrate with every cell in your body. It's going to ignite every cell in your body. And then when you release that breath, it's going to release and let go every toxin that's in your body. So we're going to bring in now a conscious breath. So realize what it is all around you in the air, what you're breathing in. Take that beautiful breath in. Draw it all in, knowing that that breath is going to ignite every cell in your being with all the elements of the air. And as we now let that breath go, we release and let go all the toxins, all the stuff that doesn't belong, let it go. And just be present to that for a moment. Just be present to you, to your breath, to what you breathe in, to what you breathe in, what it does to your body temple. What a beautiful experience. Knowing that we participate with every breath in bringing life to our beautiful body temples. And now that we have done this, we become more present. Present to self, present to breath. And as we become present to self and to breath, to this moment, we put our attention on the beginning of something new here, a clean slate of a new year. And in order to come to a clean slate of a new year, what has been on the slate must be removed, cleaned, cleared, purified, released, let go. All of it. Let it all go. And notice that when even I say this, what happens within your mind and your body. If there's any fear about letting go, releasing things, attachments, thoughts, sometimes even people. Just notice what it does to your mind and your breath. And then just bring your attention back to the present moment, to the clean slate, and even imagine a clean slate, a beautiful big whiteboard. And on that whiteboard, it's just clean and clear because everything from the past has been erased. Start again. Start anew. So that's the clean slate over here in 2025. But I ask you each now to go back 2 days ago to 2024. And you had a slate up then too, a whiteboard with all your experiences from 2024 and beyond that, all those years before that. I want you to take a look at that slate up there, that whiteboard, and what's on that whiteboard. Ideas, people, things, to-do lists. So you have this one whiteboard that's just filled up with things and thoughts. And then you have this whiteboard over here in 2025 that's clean and clear, nothing on it. And imagine that you're standing right between the two. You between 2024 slate board and 2025. And all that stuff on the 2024 whiteboard, what is worth keeping from that whiteboard that brings love and light and joy and peace and goodness, not only to you, but to everyone. And allow those things to be illuminated on that old whiteboard right now. All those things that bring that. And as those things are illuminated on your whiteboard, you get to choose now if you want to bring them and put them on the new whiteboard that's clean and clear. Are there beliefs and ideas that are filled with love and light and joy that from the past that you can still bring forward that can serve you and all of humanity? And if so, allow those things to now magically appear on your 2025 whiteboard. Just let them populate there. Now go back to that old 2024 whiteboard and notice things that you really don't want to take with you. Notice behaviors, beliefs, ideas, ways of being, reactions, responses, anything that does not serve you and that brings your frequency down, in fear and suffering. All of those things, you get to choose whether or not you want to bring any of that with you to your new whiteboard. So if you choose not to, I invite you to take a look at all of that and just bless it. Look at that 2024 whiteboard that has held all these ideas and beliefs and conditions and that are not serving you. And from the heart of your hearts, give thanks for all of those experiences because they actually brought you to where you are today. Every one of them. And so we give thanks for those things that were hard. We give thanks for those things we've worked through. We give thanks for those things, for all of those things helped us get to where we are right now, today, where we are empowered to make a good choice for ourselves. And so on that 2024 whiteboard, I invite you to just surround that whole old whiteboard that has the collected memories, ideas, beliefs, behaviors, all that you have accumulated from all of your living experience right there. And I want you to surround it in a big, beautiful ball of white light of blessing. Just a beautiful blessing ball. And just say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those things that no longer belong to me, I release you. Those things that are still serving me, I invite you. And take a breath in. And move your attention back to the center where that whiteboard in 2024 is there, surrounded by that beautiful ball of blessing. Continue to be blessed, will always be blessed, is always surrounded by that ball of blessing. Can never be changed. It will always be blessed. And here you are in the center, and here's your new whiteboard 2025, already being populated by things that you want to bring forward, that bring love and light and joy and peace and goodness. And as you are standing here in the center, choosing that which is going to be on this beautiful new whiteboard in 2025, who are you? Who are you bringing yourself to be on this 2025 whiteboard? The consciousness that you are. Being affected by your connection with the Holy Spirit rather than by your connection with the world. Your connection to gratitude, your connection to peace, your connection to love. And bring your awareness back to the center again. And as this whiteboard begins to populate with what is coming in your 2025, I'm going to ask you now to surround that in a big, beautiful white bubble of blessing. A big, beautiful bubble of blessing of what is to come, what is possible within this, what is possible in this realm of blessing our world yet to be, that is infused with love and light and goodness and plenty for all. Take a breath in and come back to your center spot. For the truth is, where you are now, this present moment, your future has not happened yet, except that we have seeded it all now with this positive, beautiful energy of blessing and love and light and higher consciousness. We've blessed the past in all its encounters with love and light, knowing that even in all the catastrophes and wrongdoings and any of all of that, that we bless it and know that it has brought us to this present moment. And so we transmute all of that energy into blessing, into goodness, into love, into light. And we come back centered into our centermost place and realize that we are the blessing, we are the light, we are the love. I am the blessing. I am the light. I am the peace. I am the love. And I invite you to be very awake and very aware of your I am consciousness. I am awake. I am aware. I am love. I am the light. I am the peace. Take a breath in and let that breath go as you settle into this perfect present moment where you are always in your place of power and choice, where we bring back to ourselves the true meaning of who we are, our I am meaning, not the meaning of the world, but the meaning of our I amness. And so as we awaken this day to truly who we are and the power that we do hold, I give thanks as we move into this new year, symbolically moving into it, consciously awakened, aware of who we are, what we are, how we are, and that collectively we lift the frequency of every living sentient being on this planet. Take a breath in. Bring your attention back to the center again. As I give thanks for the awareness that has occurred here this day, as I give thanks for the releasing of the energies that no longer serve us, but also the transmutation of those energies into love and light. I give thanks that we are awakened to our true potential as we move into this new time, this golden age of peace and love and prosperity and goodness for all. I give thanks, for I know it is we who collectively are lifting this consciousness now, allowing it for not only ourselves, but all. And for that, I am so grateful. And I know that we are supported, supplied in all ways by the Holy Spirit. And for that, I am truly grateful. And I bless this day and our journey into our new year with all the love, with all the light, with all the fun, with all the excitement, and all the beautiful experiences that 2025 can possibly hold for us. And so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jenny. Do you have something to say?
Thank you for this conversation today, the beautiful meditation, and for everyone showing up today. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody who've been watching. Please, if you like what we do, please like, share, subscribe. to my YouTube and Rumble channels. Also, please look back to many, many, many shows we already done and many beautiful meditations we already done. So thank you for being with us. Happy New Year and see you next week. And God bless